Wassail Beautiful People. Sun's going down. It's still pretty blinding. And look, there's the moon. Early this morning, it was a huge piece of yellow, whitey, orange, tangerine just sitting there. It was gorgeous. It was so close. You could pull it out of the sky and eat it. So I'm sitting on the rooftop, up on the roof, and there's a lot of energy here. This whole area was a really important Greek centre, which is now in Sicily, Italy. See, borders change. Wassail, Francesca Anna. Wassail Holly, wassail Holly. The bliss of the past. Nostalgia. Not a good thing. Wassail Jim Andrews. I know, it's so tiny, but when it moves all the way across and goes... Well, we might get the sunset if I can sit here for long enough. But it is very hot. Still. It just never stops being hot here. So, and my hat's supposed to be down over my eyes so that I can see, but it's not really working out that way. There's a little bit of a breeze picking up. So, I had a nice day today. Went on travels to... I went to the amphitheatre. I'm sorry, I keep kicking the table. I went to the amphitheatre and they were preparing it for some kind of show, and they'd laid wooden seating all over the whole thing, like it had been the entire thing had been hidden. And I couldn't bring myself to share the images with you, so I just left the one of how it really looks when it hasn't got something all over it. Wassail Silky the Fairy. Yeah, I've got 3 hats now, an orange one, an acid yellow one, and a blue one. So there's really big, crazy wassail, I am Corey. I hope you're feeling better, my friend. Wassail Joanne Faulkner. Oh, thank you. I really enjoyed Wassail Wassail Melissa Morton. It's nice to have Corey here. So, there's so much energy because I went today. Oh, actually, I can probably just show you. Let me see, it might not work. The sun might be too bright on the screen. So I went to a place which is called Piazza Minerva. And there, well, maybe I just let the... So this is Piazza Minerva. It's the most amazing architecture. But most fascinating for me is the cathedral here. Was once the Temple of Athena with all these Corinthian arches. It's all the way down there and you can see the columns that were once part of Athena's sanctuary. Wassail Kiki. Yeah, so that's just up that way. That was the temple to Athena. And it became a Catholic church. I mean, this one became a church, then it became a mosque, then it became a church, and then it was so profoundly powerful, I think I think they probably couldn't get any sense of calm within the church because the energy there is powerful. Wassail Kathy. Yeah, it's absolutely true, Corey. There's so much going on. And then this morning I started getting this energy. I mean, I talked in that video about there was noise that woke me, but it wasn't outside. It was within, behind the veil, the old energy fighting, not to escape, but just to re-establish its presence. Wassail Parry. So, I picked up the Psychic Archivists, and I've got no idea what they are. Wow, that's not true. But the thing is that sometimes I get bits and pieces, but I have to wait for the cards to say it's okay to share things because things have to come in a correct order. I think at the moment they're part of this whole experience is part of the Alchemy of Astrology deck, which I haven't got in my hands at the moment. I'm going to switch. I just can't let go of Liffruma. Let's get the Alchemy of Astrology deck because they feel like they're here to inform the deck. Mars and Aqua Regia. You don't want to touch the dragon's blood in Mars, I'm telling you. Oh! They're alive. Oh. Oh. We've got 5 planets in water, well everyone, or we've as in the royal we. Wassail the red gazelle. How are you, Rune, beautiful person? So, come on, Alchemy of Astrology, seriously. Let's get on with this. Let's see what the messages are. It's so beautiful here. I'm just going to keep saying that over and over again. Look, there's the moon. There's the moon. I think it's in Libra, but don't quote me. I've caught the sun today on my face. I'm excellent. Thanks, Rune. I'm off to Malta. I'm going to sing a disconnection for my brother because he died there. I'm not taking any cards yet because I'm not concentrating. Wassail Karina Bush. Wassail Steph. Right, look, this card has tried to come out now twice. And I put it back in. It's a bit like leche. It's rot. I can't sing that one in Russian. I'm going to call you Elena Obratsova for now. Wassail Pippa Davis. Yes. Oh my God. Why didn't he say hello? He's an Italian chef working there at the moment. Oh, wow. Whereabouts? Or you don't need to say. You can email me. I can go and hassle him. Rot. So this is decomposing old patterns. Look, I was saying at the time, you know, that I was thinking, he said I was tall. I'm tall. I need a shave. They're doing me a shave tomorrow. I couldn't just walk in anywhere. So 4:40 p.m. they're going to do me a shave because and I've got Wassail Tracy. I didn't see you appear, Tracy, but I saw Steph saying hello. So yes, decomposing old patterns, shadow boxing. It's like there's an energy around when we want to deal with shadows. Sometimes that's kind of not real. We don't really. We're just playing. We're just kind of, And look, I would say that maybe I have never ever in all my life. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I love a roof apartment. You need the breeze. And also, my room's here, the bedroom. The house is downstairs. The bedroom's here. So, yes, I don't think... See, I'm avoiding it now. I'm like, oh, what can I talk about? So, I don't think I've ever really fully processed the departure of my brother. He comes through and he tells me things like, don't see me as your brother, see me as who will be in another life. I get all those wonderful messages from him, but I don't think I've ever had the chance to really deal with him. I went to see where he died, and I just had anxiety that I wouldn't get back, and my parents would be mourning the loss of another child. Whereas now that they're gone, I can go there, and I can actually tune in and enjoy Malta. I think I was too scared to tune in to Malta. In case there was something I didn't want to see. I forgot to bring my water. I've got Russellingaround water as well. I need to go and get some water. Just bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me go and get some water. There's a bit of a haze. I don't ever drink. I'm a water kind of person. Coffee in the morning, water for the rest of the day. The one thing I would like to have here, which I had in Sardinia, was blood orange juice. And it is a really big Sicilian thing, but everywhere I've been so far, they've been normal oranges. I want blood oranges. Because I'm dealing with ancestral blood echoes. So now in my head they're saying to me, there is a relationship between what you work on and food, and don't be so flippant. There's no point in telling me not to be flippant. Wassail Laura Veronica Speedwell. Oh, Wassail Kirsty. So look. Honestly, this place is making me giggle. There is a really strong energy here of intoxication from tuning in to the oracles, because there were oracle people here. Oracle people. And you would visit them and you would ask them questions. Sorry, I don't know whether I'm taking that card. Let's look at it. No, it's water, but that's not the opening of a conversation. Just reminded me that I've drank some. Right, people, come on. Let's all focus with the moon's frequency. Diana. Now that's interesting. I went to Diana's fountain today. There was a lot of water there. Well, the moon moves the water. Yeah, the Oracle of Delphi, there was a crack in the temple. You made your sacrifices outside and there was a crack in the floor, and the Sibyl, she breathed in the fumes, which I think were quite intoxicating. And then she gave you your oracle, but she talked in a kind of gibberish. And then priests later worked out all the words. What is interesting about the oracle is it was used in both the Greek and the Roman period before it was dismantled, but it contained the phrase that was from the early Gnostics as well. But before the Gnostics was when it was originally set, but it's Myothi Soten. And that means know yourself. Know yourself. So, Wassail McGill. Right, I can't sing them for a minute. I've got to concentrate. Alchemy of Astrology. Okay, so we've got Embers and Boil. I prefer the new card for Boil. Just saying. So Embers is Phoenix energy. Embers is poking over. So look, you know, this energy of rotting, this energy of allowing the decay of the old and poking. Oh, you see, now they're saying, no, go the other way with this. This is something that is the embers. It's not the rot that we think of. It's the old patterns that have been decomposed. It's almost like fertilizer. And in that fertilizer, soil, energy, there's a chance to kind of rake around and find something beneficial. This is not ended. This is just pausing. It's to rekindle and reignite. There's like glimmering, shimmering coals. But there's something here where they're the coals of emotions. So they're not physical. They really are waiting. They're kind of waiting to do that kind of sublimation energy, which is the Libra aspect of the Magnus Opus. So in alchemy, astrology has different energies and purposes to how we see astrology. So Libra represents the alchemical process of sublimation. And I've talked about this recently. But it's when you move from solid to gas without going through the liquid. So there's something here that's talking about stoking over the embers of the past to release a new spiritual energy, but you don't go through an emotional part of it because they're not your emotions. They're old emotions, like a sticky molasses that's just sitting, I guess, on the core surface of everything around us. Tell you what you're talking about. Wassail Rennie's clips. So, oh, the sun's getting bigger. Oh. Sun's getting bigger. It's Apollo frequency. Getting ready. He'll pop in, I think, once he goes orange. Yeah, liquid compost. It's an energetic mulch that's sitting there. Virgo. Ah, you see, look, refining minds. This is distillation in alchemy. So it's not the usual way we think of Virgo. It's about being rational. See, and it's really interesting because Virgo is mutable earth. So it's changing your mind brings you into a new dimensional emotional frequency. So yes, while Virgo is mutable earth, by using thoughts, air, to edit things, you transform your frequency. So you have like a phoenix moment. I feel like that's nudging me to tell you something that I know, but I need more evidence before I go shoving that in your faces. Here it is, Moon in Libra. That's that. That is that. That is that. And that's a hat. So this is eased emotional justice. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we're all caught in miasmas, ancestral miasmas, emotional frequencies that are coded in our DNA. And that's what these psychic archivists are here to deal with. And then we have air. Moon in Libra is air. So it's saying, mutable earth, utilize the moon in Libra energy to ease things and rationally rational thought editing. This is what we're being asked to do now. And this is sanguine. Narancha sanguino. Blood oranges. You see, what they're saying is I'm seeking blood oranges because somehow there's something in the frequency, the nutrition, the nutrients of a blood orange. I did have it 2 days in a row, and I really, really have tried twice, yesterday and today, to find it, and I can't. I'll find it tomorrow. But the reason I couldn't find it was so that this message could come to you. And that's what's so annoying. When I want things and they won't let me have them, because there's a message behind them. So, what have I got? What have I got? This real sense of the opportunity to reset emotions. Yeah, we do have to swim in that miasma, because if you don't swim in it, you don't recognize what you need to release. You know, that's the same as any kind of shadow work. You have to go into the shadows to work out what it is you need to get rid of. Just going to move that chair and that one, because the sun's getting lower. We're getting to the Apollo golden hour moment. And it'll be interesting because we've got the sun and then the moon. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, I don't find it very sour. I do hear Sicilian lemons have the highest malic acid content, and they are so sharp. But the blood orange, I think it must be something to do with a frequency that must be good for this kind of, well, for my current miasma. It doesn't mean you all need blood oranges. You need to inchew the foods for you, for your transformation, for your phoenix. This phoenix forming energy is definitely, wow, I was going to say it's definitely a water phoenix, but it's almost like a steaming phoenix. There's something about bringing the water into spirit, the emotion being dispersed in spirit to create this phoenix. Yeah, that would be nice. Blood orange kombucha. But I just want blood oranges. I want blood oranges. Yeah, the bogs. That's where we used to put people in ancient Britain. They used to bury them in peat bogs. And they come out almost fully intact. A vapor phoenix. Yes. It's a sublimation phoenix. It's a Libra phoenix, perhaps. Oh, and now we've got Mercury. With filter. Right, watch your tongue. It is an energy of watching your words, because words are magical. So during this process, if you're following it, if you're deciding to try and go into this emotional miasma to transform it, it would say be careful, because if you say the wrong thing, you're almost going to open emotional sluice gates. So there will be almost like being so drowned in ancestral emotions. And we don't need that. So there's something of the visible silence, experiencing this as thoughts, rational thought editing. And I'm always saying you need to speak things into being, but this is really talking about filtering out that energy to bring something into being by speaking it. This is a different kind of a materialization that's going on here. Cosmic idealism. Seeing love. That's interesting. Seeing love. I'm just keeping an eye on the sun. It's getting bearable, but I want it to go a bit more orange before I show you. I'll just give you a little glance. So, that's Apollo on his descent. Anyone know the Roman equivalent of Apollo? I got it wrong this morning. Come on, are you all Googling it? Yeah, it is a beautiful view. And exactly where the sun is where the Temple of Apollo is from here. So, I would say another 10 minutes. Hermes, no, that's Mercury. I thought it was, who did I think it was in my stupidity? Oh, Helios. Which I still suspect it is really, because we have the heliocentric version of the cosmos and astrology, which is when you look at where the sun is and all the, and put in the center, and all the planets rotating around. Wassail nourish, I nearly said nourish. Wassail amber pain. Yeah, I thought it was Helios, but it's not. It's Phoebus. Look. Don't go away. It's not the Libra moon, it's the Libra sun. It's a reminder that we're being given a chance to work on this. Oh, to work on these miasmas. Look, Neptune. He is ancestral blood echoes. To work on them when the nodes shift in July. Oh, that's so soon. Yeah. Oh. You see, I had them in Sardinia. They served a little glass box thing on every table for breakfast. I want blood oranges. I'm being told blood oranges. More blood oranges. The sun's going to go blood orange in a minute. So look, the nodes are shifting. This is when this psychic archivists are going to be having a field day. I get the feeling that I want to say like they feast on that boggy emotional rot. But it's not like they're some kind of like weird creatures. They're just beings that, it's no different to flies. Look, when flies land on me, I let the flies walk wherever if I can. It's not always doable, like when they keep landing on your eyes, but quite often they're moving across you to suck away energetic cracks, disturbances, fragments, really miniature ones, and they move across you if you can tolerate them doing their work. These psychic archivists are just doing it on a much bigger scale. They're trying to hoover up unfinished, rotted emotional soup so that we can all feel lighter. Now look, Pallas Athena's turned up. As I said earlier, I went to the Temple of Athena. And yeah, it's still a lovely building, but it's not her home anymore somehow. But she's still there. And we have Trine. Right, so they're telling me I have to find a trine, a triangle. I've got to map out. I've got to map out where the missing piece of this trining jigsaw is. It should be easy, but I have a funny feeling it's in the sea. With Neptune, like a fallen temple, an underground temple. Well, I can't do that off the top of my head. I'll have to do that when I finished here, thinking about it. I know. Exactly, Holly. I'm being sent on a scavenger hunt. I'm going to have to get a triangle on my map. Actually, let me just have a quick look. I'm here joking and saying I can't do it, but I probably can. So, we're on Ortesia, and there's the cathedral. Yeah, it's in the water. Either way you look at it, it's in the water, but it's either off the Via Ptolemy, or Ptolemy, must be. There must be something going down there. I'll investigate overnight. Oh, that sun. You're going to have a look at that in a minute. I love this water. It's named after me. Well, it's not. It's called Ruscella. Ooh. Let's have another little look at the sun. Oh. So look, I'm going to take you on a slight walk so that you can get an idea of just how close. So here is the Temple of Apollo. So, right, so I was like, Pallas Athena wants to talk, but she's like, no, you have to find the triad, the Neptune. I also apparently have to investigate why and what Neptune has to do with Apollo and Athena. Oh, I know. Oh, that's really interesting. So, Neptune as Poseidon wanted to be the protector of Athens. And so did Athena, and Athena won. And so Poseidon raped the priestess at the Temple of Athena, the young Medusa. And Athena was so annoyed with her for letting him that she turned her into Medusa, the Gorgon with the snake hair. Ah, and I saw that image here today. So, did the same thing happen here when the Greeks who moved out to colonize new lands and built the temple to Apollo and to Athena, did they again snub Neptune? And that could be an energy of why there is this emotional miasma that's a rotted frequency. It's like, I don't want to say it's like the curse of Poseidon, but there's something about him Oh, and also, because of the layout here, they're always saying that there's some nasty smells come up from the drains. I haven't noticed them. Wassail's a noni snowflake. So, oh, quick, he's doing a quickie. Well, look, see the moon, and now the sun. I know, we could just all sit here in silence and watch that go down, but instead, it's not as orange as it could be. I keep an eye out. There's the moon again. Let's try and find out. I can't remember what I'm trying to find. No! Right, come on. Tell us what Apollo's role was in all of this. What was Apollo's role in this Athena versus Poseidon saga? He was a side hustle. So we have Earth. I'm getting all the normal energies from the card, but I'm not getting anything to do with that story at the moment. Let me just look. It's black bile. Black bile is needed for the fermentation of poo in our bodies. Livers and kidneys and spleen. So there's something about that being that energy when Neptune reigns, the E flat note, Poseidon, and that's the ancestral miasmas, the black bile. So it's almost like Neptune has control over that part of the body. I need to go back. I need to remember what Pallas Athena's assigned to. I think she's, I'm not going to guess. Because I channeled it. And I won't remember. Pallas Athena, Pallas Athena. Yeah, she's cosmic consciousness. So this is like this battle that takes place between Neptune and Pallas. Pallas comes in as the snake wrangler goddess, the boa woman. And this is cosmic consciousness linked into bringing our energy through as the cosmic serpent to reach down towards the earth. But there's somehow, oh look, it's nearly gone. I'm not paying attention, telling a story. Ooh, and it's over. So yeah, it means that the only kind of willful playfulness that Neptune has is playing with the black bile element of our ancestral miasmas, these energies, these old songs. I still don't know what Apollo's got to do with it. I think Apollo is the healing. Apollo is the light. But he's like, you can't just command me and I click a switch. I'll provide the alchemical solution. And this is Mary the Alchemist, as she will be called. Or Prophetissima. I don't know. You can all put your 2 pennies worth in on that one. She's got a new card now as well. She doesn't look like that anymore. So it's creating your own personal philosopher's stone. Yeah, I think it absolutely does, Corey. I think there's all kinds of food patterning solutions. There's all kinds of, I mean, you know, People are always telling me bread's not good for me, and I kind of think all my ancestors have eaten bread because that's just what they've always had. So I feel like that's a predisposition, but it's how I view it. If I view bread as being something that's a torment, it will become that. Whereas I've always believed it to be the most beautiful thing in the world. It's the first thing I always do, or used to, when I travelled, was go and find a baker shop and look at the breads that people eat where you are visiting, because I think bread tells you so much about a people. So yeah, sorry. So going back, Apollo is the healer. Apollo will provide the aether to complete the healing. So look, I suppose I should just try and explain this. I picked up an energy yesterday and it was very confusing and it kept coming in the wrong pattern, and it reminded me of how so often processes are hidden alchemically because you have to have personal epiphanies. But this is like a small instruction manual to help you achieve something. It's still not easy, and I haven't tried doing it yet. I keep putting it off. So it begins with air, because we are in air. Oh look, I'm going to get the cards out so that we can understand this. By breathing, where are the cards? Just talk amongst yourselves before it gets dark. I need to find a series of cards. Well, it's just like every card, really. So I'm going through, I'm like, yeah, that one will help in the story. That one will help in the story. So that South Node, Corey, that's what you were talking about. It's not just the gifts you come in with, but the centaurs create these bubbles of old miasmic emotions, feelings, desires, magnetisms, and they're coded into our DNA. And they rise in us and then they pop and they flood through our body and they beg us to try and transform the energy that doesn't belong to us but is part of our physical coding. Emergency. And then I think I've got them all now. Just let me go quick. And these bubbles just keep repeating over and over and over. And they can get quicker and quicker. And what you're supposed to do is take hold of the bubble and melt it, like in the card of Hagal in the Liffruma deck. It's taking something which you think hurts you and melting it and then changing the frequency of it and absorbing it into your body, because it is part of a frequency that can benefit you. It has nutrients in it when you stop letting it be the bubble that pops. So you begin with air. You breathe air in to the water, the blood. That's interesting. This is phlegm, but I've got aqua regia. The air is the sanguine. The air takes the air to the blood. That's really interesting. I've never seen the humours as one touching another. I know they do, there's a blurring, but that's really interesting. You should look at this again. Might have to turn the light on in a minute. Could be in the darkness. So you draw the air to put oxygen into the blood, and this brings this dissolvable frequency, and that goes down, 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 down into your cells, into your coding, into your ancestral coding, the physical frequency that you resonate with, because it's what you came in with. It's your south nodal energy. Remember, that's changing. That's going to Libra shortly. So it will be able to swing balances, change things. And then the fire is like in the suits of tarot, in the wands, This is physical fire. But what you have to do is, in this meditative state, you have to kind of, all the wind's really picking up, I don't want to lose any cards. You have to turn off from the physical fire, turn off from Neptune and those ancestral echoes that are in your coding, and in that moment you call in Apollo's magic, you call in Apollo to bring in the inextinguishable fire of Vesta. So I didn't pull out Vesta because I didn't get that far in the story in my head. So the exercise is, you breathe air, you consciously think about the air enhancing the frequency of your blood, the emotions, and this passes down into all of your cells to create a transformation. And that's when you switch off the physical fire to turn to a spiritual fire. Call in, humbly, Apollo to douse you and reignite your soul and your hearts with the inextinguishable fire of Vesta, its spirit fire. That's what we've been getting here, and it will transform your life force. You will sing a new song. Wawa! So, I have to put a light on. It's getting really dark. Más rapido. That was a bit more Spanish. One sec. Might not work. All Swifts have arrived. It's not really made any difference. So I might have to just let go and see you all again. It's my bedtime as well. I mean, what is it? It's way past my bedtime. It's 8:22. Because do you know what's so beautiful here? Getting up super early, no one is up and the whole city's mine. So you have the exercise now. Remember, breathe in, feel your blood, let your blood course through your whole body with the energy of breath. Remember, the thing that we always forget is that air contains all four elements. It contains air because it is air. It contains moisture, water. It contains earth because it's composed of elements, physical elements from the earth. And it also contains fire, as in light. Even moonlight is a form of fire within the air. So you bring that air into your body, allow it to go through to all of your cells, and then concentrate on switching off the old physical fire, because that's your ancestral miasmas frequency. And then call in Apollo and ask Apollo to douse you with spirit fire from Vesta. That's your little exercise. See how you get on with that. So before it gets too dark, oh look, I just got to do a ceramic because I bought them out here. I forgot. I wasn't doing runes. So here's number one. Begin again. It's not Björk, but it is this energy of the first rune. We are hemmed in by the physical, and we're meant to be. But you can connect to the spiritual and turn on A new light show around you. That's what they're saying. Shine with a new light show. So it's getting very, very dark. Can't even I need to turn the brightness up. I can't even read your comments anymore. Oh, it's not so dark. Let's shuffle again. I've just turned the brightness up. I can see everything. You can hang in there, people. It's got brighter. I turned the turn the light up. So look, yeah, I'm going to end with that because that is perfect. We started with Virgo early on, and that was about refining the mind. This process that you're working on now is opening your emotions to empathic luminosity. I love this, empathic luminosity. It's about returning. And this is interesting. It's then that you voice the changes. You do this process in silence. That's what we had earlier. You do this process in silence. It's thoughts. And then when you get to your empathic luminosity, that's when it voices change. There's also something here with the pancreas. That's a Neptunian thing. Retuning your pancreas. St. Pancreas. So, have a beautiful evening, everyone. Yes, thanks everybody who's been channeling. Parry, thank you for reminding everyone. But everyone's been sharing such important personal journeys, and that's all I've been doing. It is a personal journey, and I share it with you, and I try and connect with ideas that can help us all. But as a group of people, you're all so loving and giving, and that's a really beautiful place to start a community. Nice. I had a really interesting, weird ice bath, hot bath experience 5 years ago in Peru. It was very strange, and it was a fever forcing exercise, and it certainly did. Wassail Sovereign Soul, Wassail Melisande 11. Sorry I missed you earlier as you came in. So I'm going to ask the deck. Got my lovely lemons. I'm going to ask the deck to split itself and give us a final message. So they're singing Hallelujah now in the background. Let's see if it does it. Might not. It's growing. Oh no, you can't just stand up like that. Apparently it can. Well, the one I can see is Phallus. So the law of unintended consequences. 2. Unintended consequences. Wassail Sovereign Soul are not something to fear. This is Phallus. Phallus and Chariclo and Chiron are the centaurs, and they're responsible for programming these miasmic bubbles that rise up. Oh, I need to check something. I think all 3 of those have got a Neptunian orbit. That would make sense. So anyway, they create the bubbles, but when you do this exercise, you're putting your hand in to change to the Vesta Aether, and that will allow you to have new unintended consequences made from the nutrients and not the miasmas. Beautiful message. Hallelujah. They're singing in the background, so I'll have to go before someone sues me for having that music. So, yes, it does. Fear does suck the life out of people. And I'll be honest, I was always promised a lot of giggles. I haven't laughed so much for ages. I giggle all the time with myself as I'm wandering around doing things, especially when I trip over and walk into walls. Always amuses me no end. So, beautiful people, I'm going to bed. I'm going to go and get me some more Russellingaround water. Have a sleep and get up bright and early. I suppose I've got to go and find out about this Neptune thing. Don't let me forget that. I'll take us to... Oh, Swifts. I'll take us to Athena's temple tomorrow. It's a bit complicated. I don't know that I can do a reading there. But we'll see. I mean, I try and do readings wherever I am. Today... The singing was impossible. It started fine, but there was a slow dribble of people. So I kept stopping and I kept waiting. And then it was just loads of people. So I just sang and I felt like a busker. I felt like I should have put my hat down and waited for them to make donations. They were all filming me. No, only 2 people came up and spoke to me. And then later I met a woman who was French, but she came from somewhere like an Asian island. And she was trying to do the sounds that I was doing, and so I taught her how to do it. And then she got really good really quickly at singing into the rocks. It was great. And then later, people just kept saying they could hear me singing all over the park. So I thought I ought to leave. Bonne nuit, Kiki. So I'm going to wave goodbye, because the other thing that happens now is when I press stop, I can't use my iPad for about 3 hours because it says it's waiting to upload this. And yet, it's viewable on my phone immediately. Don't know what that's about. So, have a beautiful evening from Syracusa in Sicilia. I can smell food now, like all the restaurants have opened and they've got their barbecues out. So I'm going to go and hide from the smell of the meat. Wassail Beautiful